OMG, y'all, it is July. It's July. But before we panic or before we celebrate, let's take a little moment for that podcast intro. Welcome to the Happy Agent Podcast, the place where real estate agents get real. I'm Courtney Benson, a Wall Street Journal ranked top 1% agent based in Dallas, Texas. After over a decade in this business, I realized something. This industry is full of gaslighting nonsense. The hustle culture, the polished perfection, the pressure to pretend. Yeah, we're done with that. This podcast is where we start doing things differently. We're bringing back the fun, the alignment, the real connection. With a grounded mindset, a lot of laughs, and total authenticity, we're showing up as ourselves to attract the clients, the opportunities, and the life we actually want. No, it's not always perfect, but we're here, we're building something better, and we're doing it together. You may have seen me on Inman News or catch me live on the NAR stage this September. But right now, let's get into today's episode. Welcome to the show. My name is Courtney Benson. This is a Happy Agent podcast, and fun story. Every time I record the podcast, there's something unique happens. I'm pretty sure this is my self-sabotage coming to the surface, but I deleted the whole first part of the podcast. So you'll notice my lipstick is gone because I finished the podcast, had a drink, wiped my lipstick off, and discovered I deleted it. So whatever. I pretty much am a practice of just keep showing up. Even when shit's falling down, you just keep showing up because good things happen when you show up. And consistency is my superpower. So here I am back to the OMG, it's July. Some of you may be like, oh my God, it's July. This is amazing. Others are like, oh, it's July. This is not good. Some agents are doubling down and closing deals and having a lot of momentum. And then there are a lot of agents who are hiding out in the background and kind of giving up for the year already. And they're like, call me when 2026 comes around. So I'm here to tell you, don't do that. Don't do that. You can always start again. It doesn't matter if it's a new hour, a new day, a new month. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till next month. We're going to start anew right now. So this podcast I'm dedicating it to myself. This is going to essentially be a video diary conversation with myself. And I want you to come along. Today is the day we let that go. So if you came in hot in January and you had resolutions and now you're like, Reza, who? This one is for you. I have learned not to make resolutions, especially the workout variety, because at 48 years old, I have just never upheld any of those, and I don't really have intentions of doing it again. I really don't want to put restrictions on myself that I know I'm not going to do or show up for. Here is the recap, and I'm going to give you some stories as we move throughout, but what my hope for you in this takeaway is just some reflection of you are now 6 months older than you were in January. What have you learned about yourself? Are you different in any way? And the intentions that you set in January, are they still resonating with you in July? And here is the biggest gift that I'm going to give you right now. You ready for it? If they are not, let them freaking go. Let it go. No guilt, no looking back, no like, oh my gosh, I did this and I let myself. No, we're not carrying that energy into the rest of the year, right? Guilt is not coming with us for the rest of the year. But what we're going to do is we're going to sit with what we are proud of, what we want to change, and showing up as who we want to be to finish out the rest of the year strong. I know for me, when I write in my journal and I stay consistent with it, it helps me keep my mind in a good place. If not, I will spiral, I will self-sabotage, I will stay in the misery of just ick. Because I've done that for so long, so it tends to be my comfort place, even though I don't like it. And that's where I go. And if I go in that direction, then business is hard, friendships are hard, everything is just harder. But when I come in and I've been manifesting and writing it out and speaking into the world what I want for myself, I know that those things show up, and they show up big time. And that's why all this started, because I just went through such a huge transformation over the last year with my business therapist, Ryan Gillen, and you see her as a collaborator here on The Happy Agent. And when something works for me, I like shout it from the rooftops. I'm like, y'all got to get in on this, because this is good. And I have discovered that they might be right. They might be right about being positive and thinking positive, because the world is really just a reflection of us and our beliefs and our experiences. Today, we're going to let all the bullshit go. We're going to not carry any guilt forward. We're going to get our minds right, and we're going to do a reset and a recalibration. Is what we planned in January, are we still in alignment with it now? If not, we're going to let it go. If so, we're going to carry it forward with new enthusiasm. But otherwise, we're going to reset, realign, and then go kick some ass. So thanks for being here. On to the next clip. It's going to be kind of jumpy, but remember I told you I'd delete it. Y'all, it's fine. Just keep showing up. All right, let's do it. I'm showing up as a person who is going to be able to show up on a stage and speak to people about something that is so dear to me and be able to resonate with them. Who am I showing up as every single day? And I will say I'm definitely not perfect at it. I don't even know if I'm 50-50 at this point. But I will tell you, I don't sit in the muck so much anymore. So, a year ago, if something derailed me, if, my goal was to sell $20 million and I wasn't at 10 million or 15 million halfway through the year, I would spiral and I would just be so upset and have negative self-talk about myself, and just, I'm never going to get there. Who came up with that goal? That's so stupid. I just am setting myself up for failure. And I would just absolutely spiral. And I could stay in that spiral for a week, a month. Shit, I think I've been in it for a year before. And I recognize that I don't do that anymore. While I'm not perfect in the practice of it every day, writing in my journal, which again is so wild to me, because I've never been a journal girl. I'm too cool for journaling, guys. I'm too cool for it. I just never did it. And I can tell when I have stepped away from it, my mind kind of starts spiraling a little bit, and I have to bring it back. Even if I don't physically write in this specific journal every single day, I will grab sometimes a notepad or just something, and I practice the practice of writing it down. And that for me has helped tremendously. It helps kind of re-engage my brain and get back to center and remember why I'm doing something. I definitely feel like that has helped me. Let's talk about the things that are good. What has given you momentum? What have you found to help propel you forward? Was it just the start of the new year? This is a new year, I'm going to kick ass. This is a year, and that has propelled you forward and at some point died off. What is giving you momentum? For me personally right now, the momentum is showing up for everybody in our community. And I made a commitment, and sometimes it's not enough to just show up for myself. I would like to say that, I made a commitment to myself and I'm going to show up and do this every single day. But sometimes it is, I show up out of pressure. I show up because I've made a commitment to the community. I've made a commitment as a whole of this is who I want to be as this person. And in order to become that person, I have to show up and have consistency. Do know that I'm showing up for the bigger purpose and the bigger goal of what I have asked for my life to become. I have asked for bigger picture items in my life. And in order to get to those, you can't just hope and you wish. You have to show up and be consistent in the efforts of the person who is deserving of whatever it is that you're asking for. Sometimes I feel like I show up maybe without purpose, and I don't like that feeling. But I still want to show up, and I still want to be an example of showing up, even if you aren't completely clear on what it is. Sometimes the clarity comes while you're doing it. And I have found that with me. If you ever watch $1 Million Listing, Matt Altman and Josh Altman, who I got to meet Josh, and I adore him. He's super funny, and we got to joking around. Their phrase is ready, fire, aim. So, and that is kind of how I am, just ready, fire, aim. I'm like, okay, I want to do this, and then I just move forward and I do it. And sometimes I get into it and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have a plan. And I figure it out. And everybody's personality is a little bit different, but that's kind of just how I've moved forward doing stuff. And so I do take comfort in knowing, and I think it is part of self-confidence, but I do take comfort in knowing that when I move forward, I will figure it out. And I heard somebody say one time, and I thought it was so profound, is that nothing ever doesn't not work out. Wait, is that the saying? There's nothing that has never not worked out. Does that make sense? It might not. So we're still alive, right? Like we're still here. So nothing has broken us. Everything has always worked out, and it will work out. I do take solace in that. For you, what has given you momentum to keep showing up? Is it your kids? Is it you want to feel a certain way? Like for me, I want to feel easy and joyful. Like those are the words that resonate with me most. So while things come to me and sometimes they feel stressful, like earlier today, I had some sellers who hadn't planned on removing a play set out of the back. Well, the play set was not set in concrete, which now makes it personal property item. We had to talk through this, and then I had to let them resolve it. That's been one thing that I'm working on, but it still makes me feel a little uneasy to sit in it. All of these things are occurring in my own head. Am I doing the most that I can? Well, at the moment all these things were happening, I was also sitting in a doctor's office about my back, which I have to have back surgery again. So that sucks. I was trying to take care of myself while these things were coming. And I knew that they would be okay. What for you is pushing you to move forward, that you're starting to even do in a little bit of discomfort, but what are you doing? And at the end of this podcast, I have a sheet that I put together that's kind of a check-in reflection page that I want to give everybody. And then I'll tell you how to do that, how to claim that. What's giving you momentum? What makes you smile? Like, that is huge for me, and I think that's a huge metric. Think back throughout your day, and maybe you even just every day take your phone out at the end of the day. What are the things that made you smile? Did you see your phone ring and the person's name pop up and you just really like them and like talking to them and that made you smile? Did you get really good news? Did you get a referral? Did you get a closing? Did that make you happy? Maybe it didn't make you happy. What are the things that make you smile? That's kind of an easy metric instead of saying what makes you happy. So when people say that, sometimes I'm like, I don't know. Like, what is making me happy? I don't know, because it is fleeting. So what makes you smile? Smiling is a really good indicator that something is making you happy. Write those things down. And how do we keep bringing those into our life, those things that are making us smile? Are there any habits that you have started at the beginning of the year that you're continuing on? I know I will never make a freaking resolution about working out, because I would like to say I'm that person, and I have not proven to be that person yet in my 48 years of living. So I'm just not even going to put that out there. I'm not even going to just set myself up to be disappointed. You know what I mean? I've said before, for me, my focus for the year was really my thoughts that are coming into my head. Am I giving myself sabotaging thoughts? Am I doubting myself? Am I creating stories based around other people that don't actually exist, but I'm telling myself this story that's making me spiral? What habits are you sticking to that you said you were going to? What makes you smile? Writing that down. And what is giving you momentum? What makes you want to keep moving forward? And those are really important things to acknowledge. Let's talk about some things that aren't working out and acknowledging those and acknowledging them without shame. So if your resolution was you're going to work out and you worked out twice and you haven't, how's that feel? Like, that probably feels pretty shitty. Is it time to let it go, or is it time to reframe how you're bringing that into your life? Maybe you decided you were going to buy Peloton and you did the Peloton twice and now the shit's sitting in the corner and you're like, I just spent a freaking ton of money on it and it's sitting over there and it's giving me guilt every time that I look at it. So maybe Pelotoning, what is a Peloton? It's the bike, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. My dad just bought one. That's why it was in my head. So maybe biking is not your thing. Maybe you want to go outside and take a walk. Maybe you want to do yoga. Maybe you want to go for a jog. Maybe that specific thing is just not resonating with you. And instead of throwing the whole concept out, maybe you just adjust the concept and find what makes you smile. If you like going for a walk or going for a hike, whatever it is, then maybe that is your thing until something else is. I don't know. Why did I use exercise as an analogy? Again, wrong person for that, but yet here we are. Let's talk about areas of overwhelm. What has overwhelmed you that maybe you decided you were going to take on at the beginning of the year and you got into it and you're like, oh, no, that does not feel good. A couple things for me is this idea of selling more houses, right? Like, I typically sell between 30 to 50. I think 2 years ago at 50 was, I think we were at like 54 or 56 or something like that was the most that I'd ever sold in a year. And that was a lot. It felt like a lot. But I'm always trying to add. Like I keep adding to my plate. That is a habit of mine, instead of saying, okay, I want to do a podcast. I want to write a book. I want to speak on stages. I want to mentor agents. I'm going to add all that to my plate. All of these things that I've wanted to add to bring me joy and get me closer to what it is that just feels like me as I'm getting older and the things I want to share and the connections that I want to make. I brought that to me, which I love. And then at the same time, I'm like, oh, so 54 houses was the most houses I ever sold in a year. Yeah, that should be it, right? But where did I free up extra time to actually make any of those things come true? The more you add to your plate, you're giving something up. And I'm over here like, I'm not giving up shit. I'm gonna boss babe, or hate boss babe. But this is where I'm thinking, like, I'm not gonna give anything up. I'm just gonna keep adding. And that's just not realistic. And Ryan, again, my business therapist, Ryan and I had this conversation probably a couple weeks ago when she was like, how's it going? And I'm like, I'm exhausted and feeling a little disconnected with some stuff. And so we walked through it and she said, okay, you want to mentor agents and work with agents. What did you take off your plate to make that happen? And I was like, what do you mean take off my plate? I'm not weak. I mean, weak people take stuff off their plate, like strong boss energy ads. And she's like, no, who told you that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just making it up. And that is so true. Like for me, I keep adding, thinking that I'm adding to my life. I'm adding to my success. I'm adding to my enjoyment. But the reality is I'm adding things and I'm not prioritizing other stuff. So I just keep piling it on. And then it gets to the point where it just topples over because that doesn't feel good. So the past couple weeks, I hired somebody who's phenomenal. Her name's Courtney also. Like, talk about kismet. That's amazing. And Courtney is helping me with all the tech stuff. I've shared before, I'm not a tech person. Really just is taking all of this stuff in my brain that I want to do and putting it into reality. Because that is one area that I have realized I do not excel in. Like doing all of those things, that's not me. I don't know how to do that. And sell houses and help clients and help agents. It was too much. We keep adding for this chase of success, fulfillment, happiness, whatever it is, we just keep adding and it doesn't add to it. It dilutes the other stuff that we have. And then now I'm showing up and I'm not great at any one thing because I have 100 mediocre things instead of one or two things that I'm really great at that I really love. That's another thing I want to share is as we move into the second half of the year, no panic. If you're panicked, like I'm not halfway to my goal, I'm not doing what I said I was going to do, you know what? This is the podcast. We're going to throw all that away. Remove that from our brains, throw it away, And we're going to reframe that is we are resetting, we are recalibrating. We know more about ourselves now, 6 months later, than we did at the beginning of the year. We have 6 months of new information about us. There were things that have changed along the way. We're going to take this new information and we're going to recalibrate it and reset it to kick off the rest of the year. We already talked about what gives us momentum, what makes us smile, what are the things that maybe we're avoiding. If there's something that you're actively avoiding, sit down with that. What is that item that you're actively avoiding? And think about it. And I did this with myself. Like, okay, I'm adding one more thing to my plate. It's something I actually enjoy doing, but why do I always feel so rushed with it? Why does it not feel right if I come up with an idea? Why do I second guess myself? And talk through it, think through that. Is that something that you want to keep carrying on with you for the rest of the year? Are you carrying it on out of guilt? Or are you carrying on with it because it truly feels like that's an aligned piece that you just need to get to in order to get to where it is that you want to go? Take a look at what you're avoiding. Where are you leaking energy? Sometimes if I'm around certain people or I have certain conversations, I will walk away like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. Okay, that was too much. Now I'm looking at those moments. I'm keeping track of them, just like I'm keeping track of the moments that make me smile. I'm keeping track of the moments where I leave that situation a little worse off than when I stepped into it. And I'm actively going to avoid those situations. We can't avoid all of them, but we can definitely limit them and not bring them to us. Take a look at those. What are those things? And acknowledge them, because you're not going to want to carry them on for the rest of the year. What can you stop right now? Guilt-free, cut it off, stop it. What can you do right now? For me is the needing to solve other people's problems that I need to stop immediately. I don't know why I take that on. Ron shared a really cool story one time. It was like a Real Zoom training. Sharon was our president at Real, and he's like he's my forever president. He's just a guru of all things. And he was talking about our ability to take, like, people will come in and energy dump on you or dump their problems on you. And how do you handle this? And I just want to share this because I think about this when I'm trying to solve other people's problems that they didn't even ask me to solve. Why am I doing that? So now I'm carrying my shit, I'm carrying their shit, and I'm like, and then I'm trying to be productive, and that's not possible. So Sharon tells the story like this. Let's say you're in your office and somebody comes in and they say, hey, can I ask you something really quick? Or can I talk to you really quick? And you say, yeah, sure. And they unload on you and they dump their monkeys on you, and the monkeys are running around and they're all over the office. And they're looking at you to solve their problem. Like they're exhausted by it. They can't figure it out, whatever it is. Sit, listen to what they have to say. And when they're done and they get up to walk out without those proverbial monkeys, right? You say, hey, real quick, you are so smart and you are so capable. I know you're going to find a solution. And in that moment, they pick up their monkeys and they take them with them. And for me, that story and that visual is a huge reminder. And then you let them take their monkeys back. Okay, so we're stopping something immediately. Do you have it in your head? Do you know what it is? Next thing we're going to talk about is business and lead sources. That is sometimes a very sore subject. And again, so many people just keep piling on, like, we're going to go to this class and we're going to go to this class. And somehow magically, all of a sudden, you're going to start implementing all of these things and you're going to be successful at it. Like the instructor tells you that you're going to be. I'm going to give you permission right now to pick one lead source. What, Courtney? We're supposed to have like 3 at all times. Pick one, because otherwise you have 10 that you're not doing well at. Just pick one. And I'm going to share this example. I've been told a bazillion times by a bazillion different people that I should be on YouTube. I am not currently creating content that is YouTube only content. YouTube is a totally different format. It films differently. I don't watch YouTube myself, so it is not anything that has ever resonated with me. And I've carried this stupid YouTube guilt on me. And if my pipeline isn't filled enough, if I'm feeling insecure about whatever it is, I'm like, God dang it. Had I just done freaking YouTube, had I listened to them and just done YouTube, maybe I wouldn't be in this situation. And so then I'll pull up the YouTube app and then I'm like, trying to play around with it. And there goes 2 hours of my time and I didn't do a damn thing. But what I know, I love TikTok. I love Instagram. I love Facebook. If I had spent those 2 hours doing something that resonated with me that I actually loved, I know I would have gotten something out of that instead of trying to add one more thing because it was successful to somebody else. Look, if you don't want to be on TikTok, you don't like it, you don't watch TikTok, then don't be on TikTok. Then don't be. Just because I do it or Lacey Brucci does it, Kim Dean does it, just because people do it and they enjoy it doesn't mean it's for you, and it is okay. Even if they are successful at it, it doesn't mean that you have to be because you don't want to be. And the reality is if you don't want to do it, you're not going to find success in it. And I've had to say that to myself is I don't really want to do YouTube. So you know what? I'm probably not going to be successful at it until I change my mindset around it. So pick one lead source, whatever it is, picking up the phone and calling your sphere, knocking on doors if you want to. If that's what you want to do and that resonates with you, do it. Do some open houses. Pick one and be excellent at the one and stay committed to it every day, every week. Show up for one lead source that you're going to pick, whatever it is. Do you know what it is? Are you thinking about it? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? What do you actually enjoy doing that you can put your all into it? Think about it. That's going to be your one for the rest of the year. That's where your energy is going to go and you're going to get the results out of it. The very last thing we're going to talk about is what makes you happy. What makes you happy? Because we're the happy agent community and we need to talk about happiness, whether it's business related, personal related. How do you bring more of that into your life? When you start identifying things that truly bring you joy, that make you smile, that make you laugh, that make you want to show up for it, if you can keep bringing those in your life, guilt-free, mind you, if you love going on vacation and you can afford to do it and you have the resources to do it, freaking go on vacation. Don't listen to everybody in the world who's like, haven't you been on too many vacations? No, stop the noise. Stop it. You don't need to live by what other people are doing for themselves. Do what brings you joy and what brings you happiness. Because when you do that and you are happy and you're living in that moment and your energy is high and you got that good vibe going on, you attract even better things to your life. And so for me, I want to find happiness. I want to find the joy. And I'm starting to make a conscious decision that in those moments when I feel that I take in what's happening around me and I make a mental note of it. Okay, this situation made me happy. I really enjoy doing this. How do I bring more of that into my life? And the more often I do that, the better things around me become. Work becomes easier. Friendships become easier. And it's just a really incredible phenomenon that when you stay in that high level of energy and joy, the amount of joy that comes to you. So if we stay in that joy and that happiness, then we're going to bring more of it to us. That really is the concept. All right. So we got our marching orders for the rest of the year. We're going to stop the one thing immediately that came to mind when I told you to stop it. And I know something popped in your head. We're going to stop that immediately. We're going to acknowledge what makes us smile and seek out more of those moments that make us smile. We're going to acknowledge the things that we're avoiding and sit with it and figure out why it is that we are avoiding them. Is it because we're not in alignment with them? They're not meant for us? If something becomes such a push and pull that it's breaking up the energy and the other things that you're attracting to your life, it might be time to let it go, or it might be time to figure out a different way to do it so you get that piece that you were wanting, but you do it in a different way. Also, letting go of the guilt of anything that your resolution you didn't meet from the beginning of the year. If you're not halfway to your goal by halfway through the year, whatever it is, we're going to let it go. Today's the day we're going to let it go. We're going to focus on showing up every day. And again, looking for those things that resonate with us, that make us happy. All right. So I'm in this with you. And I told you that I was going to have a resource for you at the end of the podcast, some notes. It's just a little one pager about helping you kind of recalibrate and reflect back on where you started the year, where you're going, and how to retrain your brain to get to where it is that you want to go. I told you I was going to have something for you at the end of the podcast, and I do. Drop the word happy down below and I will send it over to you. It's just a resource from me to you to help you recalibrate and think about where it is that you're going for the rest of the year. We're going to attract the amazing things that are happening to us that we love and we enjoy and we want more of, and we're going to bring them to us. I'm going to give you that resource. Drop the word happy below and we will get it sent over to you. I will see y'all next week. Have a good one.